Hey, what's up, parents? I just want to give you a quick message about what your kids are learning this week at Echo.Church. As you know, we're in a message series and an initiative called One Life. And this whole One Life initiative is not just for adults or for students, it's also for children. And one of the things that we are really emphasizing this week is our ability to trust in God. The One Life initiative is about making our lives count, doing the things that matter to God. And so what we're going to focus on is seeing God as the ultimate provider of all things. Now, a lot of times people walk on earth thinking that they provide for themselves with their own effort. There's some truth to that. But when we shift our focus and understand that God is the provider and provision comes from Him and all other things are just instruments of His provision. So our parents' allowance and the jobs we end up getting and whatever other avenues of getting resources that kids have is just God providing through those vessels. But God is the ultimate provider, and our journey in even equipping our kids and conversations that you can have with your kids this week is to help them differentiate between God as the provider and all the different avenues and places that maybe they receive provision for. Or from. And so that's just a great journey to go through, some questions that you can ask at home. We believe that part of becoming more like Jesus is us becoming more generous. And as you know, you don't have to teach usually kids how to be greedy. Most of us grow up and we want to hold things really tight in our lives and it's hard to let go. What we have to equip them with is knowing how to open your hands and trust. God is the provider. He provides everything you need, your basic needs. He provides health. He provides energy. He provides direction. He is the very source of life. And so we're talking about all of that, how to trust someone who's greater than you. Now in Philippians, it says it like this, Philippians 4:19, my God will meet all your needs. He will meet them in keeping with His wonderful riches. These riches come to you because you belong to Christ Jesus. When we are in Jesus, we can trust that God will provide everything we need. And the bottom line is this, you can trust God. And so here's a couple tips for you as parents this week as you have conversation with your kiddos. You can maybe ask them this question like, who's somebody you trust right now in your life? And maybe they'll say, oh, Grandpa, I trust Grandpa, or you, or whatever else. And then help them connect the dots of people that they trust physically with God as their spiritual father and being able to trust their father as well. People you trust, you open your hands to. People you trust, you come close to. People you trust, you're willing to hand over things to them and entrust them, trust them because they've proven their character to you. God is the same way. Another great little exercise or fun thing you can do is you can ask to borrow money from your kids. I don't know if you've done this before. I've done it a couple times. I need cash. My kids carry cash. Borrow some money from them and ask them. And if they are willing to give you the money, maybe $5, $10, whatever else, when it's time to return it, it's an exercise of trust. Don't tell them you're going to do this, but say, hey, can I borrow $10 today from you? I'll give it back to you tomorrow. I just need cash. When you come, if they are willing to do it, reward them. So the following day when you return double the money that you borrowed. And what you're going to be teaching them in this case is that God rewards generosity. In fact, the scripture tells us that there's a blessing that comes when we give. Jesus Himself said it is more blessed to give than to receive. And we can model that, exemplify that, and even demonstrate that to our children this week, that generosity comes with blessing. It's not always physical blessing, financial blessing, but there is joy in knowing that God used your life. There's joy in knowing that you were obedient. And at the end of the day, there's great joy in knowing I serve a God who is trustworthy and I can put all things that I have in my life in His hands and trust that He will use them for His kingdom, not mine. Hope that blesses you. I hope that you take that and run with it and use it as a discipleship conversation in your home with your kiddos.